Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. Welcome again to another one of our workouts for seniors. Today's session is going to be a full body session, so I hope you're looking forward to that. Without any further ado, let's get started. What you'll need for today's session is a stick. I'm using a broomstick. You'll need a rubber band, and you'll also need a ball, something that bounces. It doesn't have to be this small either. It could be a basketball if that's all that you have. So let's grab your stick, and you can hold it anywhere from shoulder width to all the way to the end of the stick, depending on your preference and your ability. I'm going to stick to shoulder width. What I'm going to have you do is just do a paddling action going forwards, just to start warming up your shoulders. If you can start twisting through your waist as well, and this is where it becomes important for you to keep your knees a little bit flexed as well, so that you can utilize the whole body. You don't need to twist only from the waist. Use the legs as well. If you have trouble twisting through the waist right now, just focus on making the shoulders move, making the arms move. Let's switch that direction and we'll start paddling backwards. Again, I'm just using my arms right now. If I wanted to bring my core into it and start involving a little bit more rotation through my legs as well, this is what it's going to look like. Keep that up, keep it up. If your shoulders feel good, you might want to go a little bit wider with the movement. And that is all that you need to do for that. Just put that stick aside for the moment. I'd like for you to stand with your feet about shoulder width apart. I want you to reach across your torso, almost as though you're punching something to the left. And then I want you to reach across your torso with the left hand, almost as though you're punching something to the right. Again, you can choose to just do this as an arm action. If you can, I hope you're following along, if you can pivot on the ball of your right foot when you reach to the left, and pivot on the ball of the left foot when you reach to the right, so that you're working your shoulders. We're starting to warm up your core muscles. We're starting to get some twisting and rotation in, and of course we're involving your feet too, so your whole body's working as one unit, which is important. It's the most important, effective way to train. Great. Now you can stay where you are. I want you to take your right arm. I want you to swing it in front of the body in a full circle. So not forwards and backwards. This is from side to side. Letting the left arm just relax. You can do as much of a range of motion as you can accomplish. If that means that you can only do a little bit of a movement, fine. Go ahead and just do a little bit of a movement. But the point is that from day to day, from session to session, you should be challenging yourself to do just a little bit more. Let's switch arms. Drawing the left arm across. If you'd like to allow your body to shift weight from left foot to right foot, feel free to do so, or you can stay on the spot. Generally with these movements, any of the exercises I have you do where you're standing on the spot, I'd prefer if you kept a slight flex in the hip and a slight flex on the knees. Doesn't mean you're trying to lower down. It just means you're enabling yourself to react quickly. Now, what I'd like to do is to grab the rubber band now and start working actively on building up the strength in your rotator cuff muscles. It doesn't have to be a strong band. Better if it's a nice weak band, actually. I want you to tuck your elbows into your sides, turn your palms up to the ceiling, and make sure they're shoulder width apart. We're going to open and close the hands. We're going to do this for a count of 1 to 20, starting at 1, 2, 3. I think last time we did this 4, I suggested 5. You could do this next to a wall on 1 foot, 7. If 8, you're feeling adventurous, 9, and that's something that you're already capable of, 10, and you could use the additional work, 11 for your hips, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Notice I take a fairly quick pace for these ones. 19 and 20. Good. No need to do them slowly today. I'd like for you to turn your palms down now, but keep the hands shoulder width apart. Tuck the elbows in. Again, keep that nice athletic stance. Flexed hip and knee. We're going to open and close the hands again. And if you're doing this, this is 18 on, if you did this on one leg, you can switch legs now. I believe this is 15, 14, 13, 12. That's some tough multitasking on my part. 11, 10, 9, 8. If your shoulders start to feel like they're really burning, 7, 6. You can slow the pace down or do fewer repetitions. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm certain your shoulders feel that one. So let's give your rotator cuff a little bit of a break. And you can put the band aside for the moment. What I'd like for you to do is to stand next to the chair now, or a wall, anything that helps you with balance. You don't need to use it, but it's nice to have it there. If you do use it, try just to touch it. Try not to use it as a physical support unless you really need it. We're going to stand on our right foot. We're going to pick our left knee up, open it up as much as we can, drop it down, raise it back up again, tuck it in, and drop it down. We'll just do that 5 times. This is number 4. I always like to remind you when you do this, there's lots of different people doing these exercises with different abilities, different strengths, different weaknesses. So if lifting your leg up this high or rotating it this much is tough for you, you can still do the exercise. But just raise the leg less, rotate the leg less. Let's switch legs now. So standing on the left foot, we're going to pick up the right thigh, right knee, open it up as much as you can, drop it down, pick it up, and tuck it in. That's 1 of 5. So a reduced range of motion version of this step might look like this. And that's perfectly fine, as long as you're making the effort to stay balanced as long as you can, to run through your full range of motion. All right, looking good. Let's do one more. Excellent. Good. So what you can do now is grab your band. I'm trying not to laugh here. I've got one more exercise for your shoulders. Please bear with me on this one. I'm trying to work your rotator cuff muscles as often as I can. They should be getting trained 3, 4, 5 times a week, and gently. I'd like for you to grab the band with your right hand like this. The loose end comes at the top of the fist, and then you're going to grab under your hand by about a foot. Give yourself a little bit of space. Now we're going to raise our right elbow up and pull the hand back. So this is our position. I'm going to rotate my arm backwards and then bring it back into the neutral position so it looks like this. We're going to count this in a multiple of 7 starting from 0. Notice how I keep my left hand in place. 7, 14, 21. I'm just changing angles so you can see exactly what to do. 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, and 70. Excellent. You don't have to count down from 70 on that arm. We're going to switch. So grab the end of the band with your left hand. Grab the below your left hand by about a foot with your right hand. And hold the right hand in place. We'll pick up the left elbow and count back from 70. Keep the shoulder pulled down as much as you can. 63, 56, 48. I'm sure I got that one wrong. I think it's 35. Oh my gosh, I just messed that one up. 35, 28, sorry about that. 21, 14, 7, and 0. These exercises really help you to maintain focus, because as soon as my mind goes to something else, which in this case was the next exercise, I completely forget where I am in the count. So you can put that band down for the moment. We're going to do one more exercise standing up on one leg at a time. You're going to want to use your chair for this one. This is the hip hike. We've done this a few times in our videos. I believe we did it last week. I want you to keep the chair to your right hand side and stand on your left foot, okay? If you can't stand on one leg for long, just let the tip of the toe or the ball of the foot gently rest of the right leg on the floor. But I'm trying not to have a lot of weight on that leg because I want my left hip to do all the work. So what we're going to do is keep our hips in neutral position to start and then pull the hip over so it gets closer towards the chair. Or another way of putting it is that the hip raises up on the right-hand side. If that's really difficult for you, you can press off the ball of your foot as well. Let's count this. I hope you're following along with me, getting a few extra reps before we start. Counting in a multiple of 8, starting from 0. 8. Notice I don't let my hip sway too far to the left now. 16, I stop it in neutral position. 16, did I count 16? Sorry if we had to do another one. 24, I'll stop talking now. 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, and 80. And again, if you were using or relying on this leg pressing into the ground to raise the hip, if you have the strength, try to do it without pressing into the ground. Or try that on another day when you're feeling a little bit stronger. Let's switch legs and count backwards from 80. This time I'm going to demonstrate just standing on one leg so you really get the full flavor of it. 80. Stop at neutral. 72. 64. I really don't want to let that hip settle too much. 56. 48. I've got to focus here. 40. 32. 24. 16. 8. Yeah, and 0. Okay, I would like it if you could have a seat now for this next one and take the ball that you had. Hopefully it's a smaller one. If it's a basketball, it's going to be a little bit harder for you, but it's still doable. I want you to just squeeze it in between your thighs. You don't need anything between your feet today. What I want you to do is sit back in your chair and then extend the legs out, squeeze your quadriceps for all they're worth, and then drop them down. All right, we're going to do that for a multiple of, you know what, actually let's not do a multiple. We're going to spell a word, and the word will be serendipity. That should flash on the ceiling above me right now. So let's start at S. We're going to spell it all the way forwards and then backwards. E. R. E. If you need to use the chair for help, N. Go ahead and grip the sides. D. Squeeze these quads as hard as you can. I. P. I. D. Y. All right, take a break, shake the legs out, put the ball back. We're going to do exactly the same thing, counting or spelling serendipity backwards, starting from Y. D. I. P. I. D. N. E. R. E. And S. Wonderful. So I have one more exercise for you for the day before we do the coordination drills with the ball. And it looks something like this. You might want to sit closer towards the end of the chair. I'm going to pick one foot up, and it only needs to be barely lifted off the ground so that I have enough room to rotate my leg internally and externally. Yeah, so I'm basically treating my shin like it's a pendulum dial in a clock, or like a dial swinging like a pendulum in a clock, like this. All right, we will count a sequence of numbers forwards and backwards. That sequence, again, should be appearing on the ceiling above me. It's not a complex sequence, but it's going to be interesting to see if you can remember it when we have to count backwards. So pick up your right knee, and we'll start counting that sequence, which was 4, 4, no rush on these, 4. If you get tired, just drop the foot, take a break, and then keep going when you can. 9, 9, 9. Give you a moment to remember. 3, 3, 3, and then today I added a 2 just for you. Good, you can drop that right leg down. We're going to pick the left foot up and count that backwards. So 2, 3, I hope you remember this sequence now because I might start messing up soon. 3, hopefully you don't rely on me. 3, 9, 9, 9, and the last ones I'll give you a moment to recall. That was 4, 4, and 4. Great session today. You had to do internal, external rotation of your arms and shoulders and of your hips and legs. We've done some leg extension and hip extension and a little bit of work for your arms as well. So let's finish up with coordination. I want you to grab your rubber ball or your basketball or your bouncy ball, whatever it is that you have. And today we're going to do the peripheral sight training. The only change that I'm going to make is that I want you to have a staggered stance. It doesn't have to be a large staggered stance, as long as one foot is at least slightly in front of the other. And I want your hips to be slightly flexed and your knees to be slightly bent, and that's going to enable you to react quicker, or more quickly rather, when the ball eventually decides to have a mind of its own and go somewhere that you don't predict. So let's start bouncing with the right hand. You can catch with both of them. You're just going to let go of it with the right hand. And the left foot, with the right hand, and the left foot should be in front. We will count a multiple on this one. It's going to be 11, starting from 0. Give yourself a moment to catch. 11, 22. Oh, hold on. I said peripheral sight training. The last detail you should make is that look at the floor, maybe a foot or two ahead of your front foot. Pick one spot on the floor and don't focus on the ball at all. So you really have to be catching it with your using your sense of peripheral sight. So let's restart that again from 0, 11, as long as you're not tracking the ball directly with your eyes, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77, 88, 99, and 110. Now we're going to go ahead and put the right foot slightly in front, and we're going to be bouncing it with the left hand. You can catch with both hands. Focus on that same spot on the floor. We'll count backwards from 110, 99, 88, 77, 66, 55, 44, 33, 22, 11, and 0. Excellent. If you're new to the program and you find that the ball is just escaping your grasp over and over, please don't lose heart or get discouraged. That is completely normal at the outset of the program. As the months go by and you continue to engage in these activities, it's amazing at how quickly you get better at this. Of course, you'll still lose the ball from time to time, but far fewer. I would also request that you leave a note in the comments if you'd like to see more of the dance component of the program. I always finish the live sessions with a little bit of dance. It's a routine that I choreograph. It usually changes from session to session, so you're forced to remember the choreography and to dance it to a song. It's very effective for improving the sharpness of your brain and quick recall. So let me know if that's something that is of interest to you, and if it is, I'll start incorporating more of that into the videos. But until next time, I hope you have a great few days. Get your rest, drink lots of water, and as always, stay active, stay healthy, and stay safe.